So then, let's just sort out my webcam, because that's decided it does not want to work right now. So let's just fix that, and then we can carry on. Right. And I'm back. There we go. There we go. And I'm sure you can hear me, so that's good. All right, so we're just loading in at the moment. Apologies for the late start. I had a few issues with the sim, so I just wanted to try and sort them out before we get going. So tonight hopefully we're doing an early morning flight. It's not as early morning as I want it to be, actually. I want it to be a bit more early than that. So let's go maybe... yeah, that'll do. Yeah. I want it to be quite early, because I think it's just a bit more fun, you know? There's a bus going around, but that's okay. Right, so we're in the cockpit at the minute, and we're going to go in the Comanche. Now, what we will do... I've got to move this to a different screen, but let's see if I've got this and see whether it actually works. It's been a while since I've gone on to these things, so... Oh, it does. There we go. So we've got a little nav map going. And what we're going to do is we're going to go from Tatenhill in the East Midlands, which is just up the road from my house. As we know, this is my home airport, so this is where I'm going to be doing a lot of flights in and out of. And we're going to go all the way to Caernarfon, which is in Wales. And that's it, really. Just going to have a nice chilled flight. And I don't know whether we'll see anything on the way, but we'll just do that for now. So the other thing that's not working for me at the moment, I think it's because I upgraded my OBS studio, was my touch portal. So I have to do everything like muting microphones and stuff like that all by hand within OBS. So excuse me for that one. So let's get rid of a little nav map, and let's jump straight in now. I'm not going to, talk my way through the startup. I'm just going to do it as we normally do, because we do need to do the walk around. So let's not turn on any of this, because we need to do the walk around. I'm forgetting something, but it'll come back to me. I always do this. Right, so walk around. It's okay. Sounds all right. I'm not going to check the fuel. Ah, we will. We're here, so we'll just check that there's fuel in there, which there is. Good. What we will do as well, we'll just check the... we'll check the... Put the beacon on, and we'll check the... Oh, where are we? That's the battery. Where's the... Oh, I did this before, and it's horrible. Hopefully... I have it normally in about the middle, so that's where I want it. So, yep, we've got that. We've also can see the beacon going around up there, so that's good. We'll just flick the battery off for a minute, which we'll probably have to do again in a moment, because we're going to check the landing lights. That looks okay. There's no water in it. Like I said, landing lights. So what we'll do, we'll turn both of them on. So yeah, we've definitely got landing light, because that's just blinded the hell out of me. Let's remove that tie down. Check the fuel. really see... We can see fuel in there, so we'll have a look at the gauges in a minute just to see whether we've got enough fuel. I think we should have enough fuel. Wheel chocks away. Check the fuel. That looks okay. No blockages. The prop looks healthy. Oil check. Yep, nice and clean. And we've got plenty of oil, so that's okay. So again, we'll check the fuel. Looks okay to me. I didn't notice that. If you move the camera, it's a bit fiddly, but okay, so that's that. Pitot heat and that. So we do want to check the pitot heat. So we'll flick that on. We'll turn the landing lights off now though, because we've checked that one and that. Well, I've checked one of them. Right, let's check that. So we've just gone past the point where we need a torch now. Right, so that's good. We've got... Oh no, it's because I've turned the battery on. That's why it thinks we've got light. So let's carry on. Once again, landing light. One of these will be the landing light. So let's just... I knew I'd turn the wrong one on. Right, landing light's good. Looking okay. I don't think we need to... Well, I should have done that. I double-clicked that too fast. Right. Nav lights again. So, nav light on. Perfect. Now, we're not keeping the battery on because it will actually go flat. So, we've got to be careful with that. There's no water in there, so that looks healthy. That's got movement. It's not squeaking or anything, so that's... And that sounds normal. No blockages. That's okay. The towel is okay. We'll take the tie down off. Once again, no blockages in there. Baggage. Right, so let's just move the tablet if we can, which we can't at the minute. Do the back. Oh, let's just do that. It's because I'm doing the walk around. Oh boy, now I'm stuck. How do I get that back out of there? Right. Man, I think that was the last stop anyway. Look, but how do I move the tablet? Can't move the tablet. Maybe, oh no, just click the bags. There we go. That's what I want in there. And we'll lock that. Make sure the door is locked as well. So that is definitely locked. So that's good. So maintenance is all done. And we're all good. Right, so I'm just going to turn the beacons on. We're just going to raise the flaps back up. Cool. So then, let's get this going. Let's get the beacon going. Prime the engine. It's very cold, so we're gonna prime this quite a lot. I think we give it 5 or 6 there, I think, so that should be enough. We've cracked the throttle. Let's see if we can get her going. Just about. Sounds very rough, but I think it's just because it's cold. Yeah, we're looking okay. It's calmed itself down. We'll pull out the mixture. Okay. Right then, so that's good. Just going to check the controls. They're all good. And now we'll just wait now. So we'll flick that on. We've got fuel gauges, so they're okay actually. I think we'll be able to get there on that. Yeah, I think we should be able to get there on that. At least I'm hoping anyway. So we'll just wait for the fuel to load up. I'm just going to get my drink ready. Right. Wait for that to load. While we do that, we'll also have a look at the current conditions. So, flight info, we've got 29.66. So we've got 29, which means we need to put this to 6. Every one of these is a 2, I think. So we've got pretty much 2, 4, 6 in the middle, somewhere like that, I think. The compass is around 21. Between 22 and 21. So that's wrong. I think it's about there. Or am I just completely... Oh, am I completely getting that wrong? Yeah, I'm getting that wrong. That's actually 20... That's 22. No, I'm getting mixed up here. I'm just like mixed up, but... It's more 21, but south, so that should be the other side, I think. So it should be there. The engine's sounding a little rough, just a little rough. It might be worth putting it in the hangar when we get back. But for now, we should have enough. We've got roughly 4 hours worth, and I think we should be up for the fuel. And if not, we've still got the tip tanks. Now our GPS has loaded in, so that's good. And I know that what I didn't look at was the wind information actually. So we've got wind at 155. So I'm just going to look at the Tatenhill information. So 15. So that is literally a crosswind, pretty much. Okay. So we'll just go around our normal route. Oil's getting there. So we'll just have a look. It's when it gets in the green. We can look at the computer here, but we can also look at the gauge as well. It's definitely sounding a little bit better since it's been warming up. Now the altitude, I think we're going to go to about probably about 8,000 feet. Because it's quite a long flight, so we'll go quite high. And that bus better keep out of my way. While we're just warming up, we are almost there for the warm up, but I've just pressed something that I shouldn't have pressed. Give me a minute. Has that just crashed the sim? Oh no. Ah, 1 minute, guys. I think I might have just crashed the sim. That's not fun. 1 minute. Yep, sim crash. No. Right, this has not been a successful flight tonight. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to start again. But I'll cheat this time. Man, that is so annoying. My apologies, guys. Start again. I'll cheat this time though. I won't do the walk around. I'll just check the I'll check the tablet. Man, problem was I didn't have when I plugged in my joypad for the drone view. I think Microsoft FS decided to go, what did you just plug in? And rather than just letting it go, oh, you've plugged something in, it's gone, and then just got rid of it. So let's see, let's see how it goes. Not a successful start, again, as usual. We'll get there. Just loading up now. So I think as well, because I've just started the engine on the A2A, I think it'll save its state, and when we get in, it'll be started anyway. So, and it'll the oil will definitely be warm as well. So, fingers crossed. I'll do a few checks, but I think everything should be okay. I will check the tablet as well. So annoying. So annoying. I just wanted it to go in tonight and have a flight because it's quite a longer flight, and that what I normally do. So I thought, oh, that'll be good, but I've got to get in and get on, and now it's just delayed it. Some of these loading screens, I want to know where they are. Like, I'd love to know where that is, right? I want to know where that is, but I don't know where that is. And I've never gone where there's giraffes. So I mean, I could Google all this stuff, but yeah, interesting. It takes forever to load, but once it's in, it's in. And to think, I wasn't actually going to fly tonight. I was going to actually do some Modern Warfare 3. However, I thought, no, no, no. I will fly and use the yoke and the trusty Fulcrum yoke that I love. But yeah, gutted. Right, it doesn't take too long to load into the actual sim once this bit's done. So here we go. Right, let's just go back where we were. I think we were there. Okay. And that one is going to be Caernarfon, but okay. The only thing I wanted to do was just change that. So if we just put that back to, I think it was, let's just do 8:30. I don't even know whether that was the right one or not. I've done that flight. I've gone over the Big Red Bridge and Alcatraz. Yeah, I've done that flight before. But not in that plane. I think I actually did it in the Comanche, and I did it in this sim. Did I? Oh no, I didn't do it in the Comanche. I did it at 172. I did it in the Comanche in the old simulator P3D. I think I did it in the 172 in this one, I think. Or it could have been the Just Flight Arrow 3 before the Comanche come out. Right, here we go. That was a little bit too light, so I think I did this last time. Yeah, let's get to about there. Maybe a little bit light. There we go, that'll do. Right, so everything's back up and running. This is actually at temperature because we've restarted the sim. What I do want to look at is... I just want to have a look at the maintenance, just... So everything looks okay there. And I'm only doing this because I've already done the walk around. Whereas I probably wouldn't have done... I wouldn't do it. There we go. Right. Click that. Let that set up. Cheat here a little bit because I'm going to press B and D, which actually I set them up alright anyways, roughly. Cool. Flaps are good, everything's good, all them are in. Right. So let's just have a, while the GPS is setting up position, let's see if I can have a go and have a look outside. Yeah, I love it. And I've not looked at the lighting on at Tatenhill. It looks pretty cool. I wonder, that would be good if that was a parking spot just there, because that would literally be my parking spot. We've got the calf. The calf's open up early. Oh. Calf's open up early today. So, yeah. Well, I'm going to go back down to find the plane. There we go. Right, I think we're ready to... pretty much ready to go. I think by the time we've done our run up, this would have timed in, so... yeah, we're already in. So that's good. Cool, so 8 o'clock flight, here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to bowl over to the put pitot heat on as well. We'll bowl over to the runway, so we'll just take our parking brake off, just check the trims in neutral as well, check the brakes. Yep, brakes are good. Let's just check that we're not going to hit the plane that's on the side of us, or the pushback truck that's randomly in the middle of a field. Right, we're just going to head into this way. There we go, there. Right, so I'm going to do is just going to spin this around a touch just to the run-ups. Further. Oh, that'll do. Right, we're going to hold the brakes. We're going to put mixture full. Put the RPMs to 2000. Not very smooth, but I think maybe that's probably the magnetos, to be fair. So it doesn't look very smooth, but magnetos are, I think they're quite fouled. I'm going to just lean the mixture out. We're going to put the throttle quite far in, let that burn out a little bit. And I think that's what the roughness of the engine was the fact that it was, the magnetos were actually fouled. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to probably idle this. Okay. Once again, mixture full. Let's see if that's made any difference. Right, up to 2000. Definitely looks a bit smoother. So that one looks good. And that one looks good. So we've burnt off that excess fuel now. Right. Prop cycle. Hopefully that comes up to 2000 again. Yep. Carb heat. Carb heat looks like it's doing its thing. Look, drop there. Perfect. And I think that is it. So we go back down to idle now. As long as it doesn't cut out, we are good to go. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the fuel pump on, the strobes on. We're also going to change the tank. We're going to manually monitor that. They're both pretty much the same, so we don't need to choose the fullest because they're both the same, but we'll choose what we'll choose that one first, actually. Just make sure we still got fuel pressure after flicking it around like that. I shouldn't have flicked it around like that, but we have, so that's good. Right, so I think that's it. So here we go. Whoop. Just check the way, which is okay because there's no one coming. Y26. Definitely got a crosswind, so that's going to be interesting. Right. That's it. And just as we get up and away, we'll go gears up. We'll lower the RPMs down to about 2-3. And we'll keep the manifold pressure up at 2.5. But I think we just need to do a left-hand turn out, really. So let's just trim this down a touch. Do a right-hand turn. There we go. Lovely flight in the sun. That's it. We're on the way. We'll just trim down a touch. Get to about 120. There is a setting that actually I've not checked, which is the V-Sync, which always seems to turn itself off, but I think since my last stream I've also updated the A2A Comanche too. Right, so we're on the move. And as we get higher, the manifold pressure will get lower, and you basically just need to nudge that up a little bit, just keeping it on. We were kind of hitting about 20, I think it's 25, but I'm going to hit just about 23, I think, if we can. Just going to grab a screenshot if I can. Give me a minute. Go. And we'll just try and stay on the GPS. So we've got 90 nautical miles, about an hour, so that should be good timing, I think. It's good timing for me. Now we're not going to use autopilot. I like using the yoke, so it's yoke all the way. I can't remember how you engage the tip tanks, to be honest. I think you just flick that switch, but honestly I'm not sure. So we've gone up, we're in the neutral state on that. We'll still keep climbing. We're going to go to about 8,000 feet, I think. We don't normally go this high, but tonight we will. So yeah, so the flight that we're doing is this one. So I've not got the plane tracking or anything like that, but as you can see, we've gone from Tatenhill, we're going to go up to Caernarfon. We're doing about 8,000 feet, so we can just miss this peak here. I'll try and fly the plane at the same time, but yeah, so that's the plan. Nice steep climb. And then we can cruise it. And it's a lovely morning for a flight. It's cold, but it's very nice. And we've still got to keep an eye on that, so let's put that up to as far as we can get it, really. Now we've got to keep an eye on it for icing. So if we get any kind of drop, it means that there could be icing. We've got to really be careful with that because there's clouds. So yeah, so we'll keep an eye on it. And then we'll obviously level out. We'll lean the mixture. We'll put the cruise settings on the go, and we won't engage autopilot. Not that I've got anything against autopilot, I just like to hand fly these planes. Because this does have an autopilot, you can click that and it's an autopilot button there. This is the autopilot bit here, and you've got a disengage and a gauge button on the yoke itself. But yeah. And I haven't actually got VSync on, I know that, because every time I do move the thing, it's cracking a little bit, so That's not good. But I don't want to pause the sim now and do it again, so let's not do that. The manifold pressure is dropping, but that's just due to altitude, I believe, anyway. Gotta love the view outside when you're in this wonderful plane. Gotta love it. We are coming into some clouds, but how that impacts us, we don't know. But we can always follow this. We'll make sure that the plane's level. We'll definitely keep an eye on all the gauges to make sure that we're not going to be losing pressure or fuel pressure or oil pressure, temperature, and all that jazz. So we're just coming up to 8,000 feet now, which is going to be our cruise altitude. And what we'll do is we'll start basically. We'll set our RPM to be. Oops, that's not my RPM. That's my RPM. We'll set it to be 22. And we'll set the manifold pressure to be about 18 and a half. Okay, and we'll keep an eye on that. Let's just nudge that up to 22. There we go. Perfect. And what we're going to do is just trim the aircraft out a touch. We are a little bit high, but it's okay. We can drop that slowly, I think. Going to also save some fuel by leaning out the mixture. So we'll do this by looking at the gauge. So I've already started pulling out the mixture, and once we get the RPMs that are going to start dropping, I'll keep it up like that. Just a touch, get it back to being smooth again. We need to trim a bit more because we're climbing. That's the wind. We can also turn the fuel pump off and make sure we still keep the fuel pressure, which is good. Wonderful. There we go, that's it. We are flying. Now I've kind of trimmed it, but it's a little bit windy out. Look at that. Absolutely superb, isn't it? We are kind of going off track there because I've gone outside, but keep an eye on that airspeed as well, because we was just basically losing altitude. So 76.4 76 nautical miles till we get to our destination. We can actually pull out the rings if we want, like make it a bit bigger, maybe go 20 while we're up in the air. still looking, always looking at the cylinder head temperature, manifold pressure, making sure this doesn't start dropping. This is nice and smooth, and we're obviously checking fuel. So we're on this tank at the moment. I think when we do get to just past this quarter of a tank, I'm going to move it to this one, so that we can kind of use the quarter of a tank as a good measure. So we've got 50 nautical miles roughly at cruise altitude. And because we've leaned the mixture, we've now got 1 hour and 30 something in terms of fuel endurance. It'll pop up on a minute. So I'm just looking at that. See, look, 1 hour 38, which is quite useful. Obviously that's going to get lower when we have to put the mixture full, but that's only at the end of the flight, which is good. Got to keep an eye on these clouds, these wonderful, wonderful clouds. You can get ice in without clouds, but definitely get ice in with clouds, so we need to just keep an eye on that. We've got to make sure that we're not banking as well, because sometimes when you're in a cloud and you can't see anything, you don't know which way is up, so you've got to be careful with that. So the reason why I chose Caernarfon is because I've got an add-on airport for that one, and I've also been there in real life as well. So it's quite cool to do a flight from my home airport to an airport that I've actually visited, which is good. Because unfortunately, when I went there, I drove there, so I didn't fly there, unfortunately. I don't know what the weather is at weather's like at Caernarfon. So I'm tempted to put my view just that one notch in, but I can't remember how you save it. It's not that much difference, but it would make a difference. Right, we are actually, see what I mean about you can't tell which way you're going, so you've got to keep an eye on this, and you've got to see where you're walking, where you're going, and everything. Keep an eye on all them instruments, making sure that we're not climbing, we're not diving, this hasn't got ice in. Luckily I think we're just gone through some clouds. I don't think it's that cloudy, so fingers crossed we should be alright. Now the one thing I didn't do when we took off was actually turn this on, but it doesn't really matter because we're not on like VATSIM or anything. But right, so as I'm manually managing my fuel, we've got a quarter of a tank now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick the fuel pump on, and we're going to basically swap these over. So we've swapped it, we'll leave it for a minute just to make sure we don't lose fuel pressure, and then we'll turn off the fuel pump and make sure that's also not losing the pressure. So now we're on the other tank. So Lewis from A2A. Now there's a company called Authenticate, and I know of the company for their Spitfire hardware, right? And what they do is they provide a service that's basically, it's hard to describe actually, but they basically 3D print components for the Spitfire that's for like the throttle quadrant and whatever, and you can get them designs and 3D print them yourself, and you can also buy them off them as well if people are willing to print them for you as well. So that's quite a useful tool, right? And then they're like actual replica copies, so what you can do is you can build your own cockpit with exact replica kind of sticks and stuff like that, so it's good. It's good. What I noticed that Lewis posted was they've actually done, if I just hide this, they've actually done this panel here. So they've done the throttle, the prop, and the mixture, and also the parking brake all in one. And at the moment, my throttle is more like a lever, not a push-pull, and I've always wanted a push-pull. So I'm keeping my eye open for that. It's only just been announced, so it's not ready yet or anything like that, but I'm keeping my eye open for that because I would love to have a push-pull instead of my other one. It all depends on cost though, because these things are not cheap. Got our wing view, looking out the wing, loving it, loving it. Not so much that side because you can't see anything, but so I'm just going to trim. I've trimmed up a little bit just because we keep like dipping the nose a touch, and we are losing a little bit of altitude. I don't know if it's the wind direction or what, but kind of half trimmed out well, so let's just have a little look outside. Lovely jubbly. Venturing off to the left, which makes sense because we've got more fuel in the left-hand tank, but I think it's just the wind as well, a bit of everything. Anything interesting out the window? Not so much. Okay, the sun goes through the clouds. That's so cool. It is good. I was tempted to fly in VR tonight, but I've changed my mind. I've been playing around with VR. It's called Steam Link, and it's basically the VR but wirelessly. So before I'd use Oculus, and I'd have it wired to the machine, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it, but I really wanted to try and do it wirelessly using Steam. The Steam, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called now, but the Steam connection. Oh, excuse me. And at the moment, I've not really got it fully sussed in terms of smoothness and stuff. So I want to do a full flight offline first, and then do a flight on the stream, because unfortunately for me, the stream does use my video card to do the encoding, and VR is very heavy on the video card, so it might run smooth as a nut when I'm actually using it off stream, but on stream it might stutter like crazy. So we'll have a tester of that one day, but for now we'll stick to the what you call it, pancake mode. And the interesting thing here, I just noticed, if I just go here, has it gone? Has it gone? I think it was just the light shining off the glass actually. I thought there might be some ice, but I think it's just it was just the light shining off the glass. So as you can see, I mean, we're flying, you know, we're literally, but we're flying in terms of distance. So we're coming up to Wales. We can see the ocean over there, you know. And we're getting some hills now. Now roughly when this goes to 25, I'm going to then start my descent. Maybe I'll do it about 30, just to see. Now Caernarfon's quite close to, actually it's very close to Snowdonia and Mount Snowdon. So that's why we're kind of going the 8,000 feet as long as we can. But I could always go round, so it's not an issue. So I always do my RPMs on here, but actually it's right there as well. So the manifold pressure and the RPMs, they're right there. I don't really use this. I like to know the fuel. That's quite useful. But I don't really use this that much. You know, you got your gallons per hour and stuff, and how much time you've got left with fuel. So it's really good in battery. You know, it's a useful bit of kit. But I tend to use the gauges a lot more. I think it's just my natural go-to because I've always enjoyed flying with the gauges rather than the computer screens and stuff. Well, this has been an eventful flight. I know at the start of the stream we had the sim crash, but luckily we managed to get that back up and running nice and quick. And now we've got these wonderful views. The clouds are not too bad. It's not too cloudy, so that's a good sign. That's really good. This is real world weather at the moment as well, so I'm kind of happy that it's clear because I didn't do any checks before we went. I'm just going to nudge down the trim a touch because we are climbing a little bit. I'm going to look at the fuel tanks, everything, you know, oil pressure, temperature and everything, so it's all good. Cylinder head temperature's okay. The fuel was still on this tank, so that's okay. Yeah. I think as we get lower, the clouds are going to get clearer, so we should be okay. I'm sure we're on real weather. I'm just going to have a little look. Yeah, so live weather. So because I've done this, I've changed the time and not the weather. The weather in the UK, well, if I look outside my window at the moment, it's pretty damn clear. So it's a cold, frosty night. But I don't like flying of a night time in the sim on the stream because you can't see anything. So I always tweak that slightly. And we've been flying and the sun's gone now. We're just going past 20 to 9, so it's been about an hour. But it will be about an hour by the time we land, so... So I'm not fantastic at landing anymore in pancake mode because I'm used to the VR mode and landing. But I'm still kind of getting used to the flare and everything being so far back from the dash, because when you're in VR, that yoke is literally in front of you, right? And the dash is right in front of you. So, and the speed as well, like it doesn't feel as fast. So if you go on like a racing sim, for instance, in VR, even though you're doing the same speed, because your field of view is perfect, you don't feel like you're going as fast. And it's a similar kind of thing. It's a weird thing with the flight sim as well. It is a weird thing. So we're coming up and we've got some lakes now. Don't ask me what them lakes are because I haven't got a clue. But look at that! Look at that view with the hills. So cool. Let's move the mouse. Super duper. And the reason why I went to Caernarfon was like tonight. Was I was going to go do an old trip that I used to do many years ago. I used to go from East Midlands to a place called Welshpool, which, funny enough, is probably just down here somewhere. And I used to enjoy that, but I didn't know whether I had scenery for Welshpool for Microsoft Flight Simulator or not, because I used to have it in my old sim, and I couldn't remember whether they've released it for the new one. So instead I thought, well, I want to go somewhere where there's scenery. Where shall I go? And then I remembered then that I had Caernarfon scenery, so I thought, yeah, let's go to Caernarfon. That'd be a really good flight. Got some wind turbines there. Saving the planet. Right, so we're going 35, just going now, 35 nautical miles out. And we'll start our descent at around about 30, I think. That's the plan. I've just been pinged. Let me have a look at this. Oh, I've got my headphones on really loud, so I'm shouting. Oh. Oh, really? So, I've got to keep my voice down because I've been shouting. I think I might have messed up the volumes. Let's just change this a little bit. Yeah, I have. Someone's messed up my volumes. Does that make any difference to you guys? No, I don't think that makes any difference to you guys. Well, I'm going to keep it like that. Yeah, someone messed up my my volume. That's so annoying. I hate it when people do that. Right, so we're coming up to 31 now. And we're hitting 30. So what we'll do is we'll just have one more little scout out the window. Super duper. Look at this. And then we'll head round. Now we could actually follow the coast around. Do you know what? Let's do that. But let's go low. Yeah. Let's go low. Let's do that. Let's follow this around a bit. Keep our altitude slightly. We'll probably just start our descent when we've gone heading towards the coast. We'll just descend about 500 feet per minute. That'll do. We'll head towards in that direction. Going to reduce the manifold pressure slightly down to about 15 so that we can slow down a touch as well. And what I want to do is I want to kind of just descend to about 3,000, 2,500, 3,000 feet. That should be good. I thought it was louder tonight than it was normally. I thought something's not quite right. That's what happens when you let your kid use your computer and it turns all the volumes up. Not good. Oh, so this is it, we're hand flying now. It does look a bit cloudy, but we might be okay. We're just going down to 7,000 feet. Now slowly this will creep up as well, because as we get lower, just like when we went up, it went down. As we go down, it's going to go up. So we've got to keep an eye on that too, just keep nudging it back a little bit. Monitoring this airspeed indicator as well. But when we get down to when we get down to about 3,000 feet, we'll then be able to level off, and when we level off we'll be able to slow the plane down a touch. The other thing we want to look at is just have a little look down here. So we've got the fuel, that's still slightly higher, so I'm going to stick with top for a bit. Fuel pressure's fine, that's in the green. The oil temperature and the oil pressure is fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the mixture to full, because we're on our descent. Does mean we're going to burn a bit more fuel, but the engine's not going to cut out on the way down. So we're 23 nautical miles out now. But if we look, we would have had to have gone over these mountains. I don't mind doing that, but I don't know, it's quite fun going on the coast anyway. And if we just look down here, we can see Caernarfon just there, so we're kind of just going round this bit onto Caernarfon. And I think we want to be around about 2,000 feet when we get to near into the approach of Caernarfon. So Let's have a look at the book. Right, so we'll look at this definitely when we come closer to Caernarfon, but the runways at Caernarfon is 0, 2 and 20, I believe. So we're looking at 20 as the runway. So on the green, I basically just moved this to 20. And that is the direction of the runway when we want to head on in. This is interesting as well. I've never really looked at this, which I think I should, but down here we've obviously got a cabin vent and a cabin heat. So I'm going to pull the cabin heat out, and that's going to start heating this up. Wasn't concentrating on what I was doing there, guys, so so cool looking at some of the views and stuff, you know. Right, so we're going down 5,500. Manifold, everything's looking okay at the moment. Cylinder head temperature is a little bit cold. You can lean the mixture to keep that warm, I believe. I might try that. I might just lean it out a touch. Let's see if we've warmed the cabin up now. It's still warming up, but the man's still blue, so I don't know if that's going to turn red or a null kind of colour. I'd like this to be Celsius rather than Fahrenheit, but I don't know whether you can change that. I don't think I doubt you can. So this is where, when the sun is behind, it's like you get that glare and all the fingerprints and stuff. You can't see where you actually doing, but as you can see, there's two runways. And I'm hoping the 20 runway is the right one. Otherwise, we're going to be doing a flyover. It looks a bit cloudy as well. The other thing we need to look at is the altimeter, which is 29.57. So 29 decimal, but we've got to do 57. Probably about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 2, yeah, about there. As I said, we've already checked the winds, so we know where the winds are taking us, which is useful. We're going down to 4,500 feet now. And it's very cloudy, but I don't know if we're going to get underneath them clouds, but we're going to try. All these mountains and stuff. I mean, look at that. I don't know if I want to take the risk of going through a cloud and then hitting a mountain. So I know that I'm over the ocean at the minute, which is fine. Keeping this level at the minute. Just to try and get through these clouds. When we get through the cloud, we might be able to see a way over, But at the minute we've gone for a big chunky cloud. And look at all these hills, you know, we've got to be careful with this. But the views when it's like that though, look at that. It does look so cool. Right, my fuel pump I'm going to now put on because I'm going to be coming in to land now. What I could do is follow the sea. Not sure you can get the weather. No, you can't get the weather on this, I don't think. Right. Oh, sorry, I wanted to check that. Yay, we're green. Right. So what we can do now is basically just pull that. Push that back in. Oh, I've opened the thing. No, come on. There you go. So I even did the temperature for you guys, you know. Right. So if we miss our approach, we can actually see now there's no mountains, and we are actually going quite well. Now we've had to lower the manifold pressure again because obviously we want to slow down, not. Let's just keep that at 500 feet per minute, thereabouts. Then what we're going to do is hopefully get down to our approach altitude before we get anywhere near. So what I'm looking at the minute is this, and I want to be at around about 5 nautical miles out and be around about 1,500–2,000 feet, which would be quite easy really. Because you can use the rule of thumb of basically ×3. So if you need to go like 1,000 feet, it's going to take 3 nautical miles, I think, something like that. And then you just add a couple just in case. So this has been a splendid flight. We can't see Caernarfon at the moment, but we are getting down to our 2,500 feet, which is good, which means we can then start our slowing down. I believe there's lights, but I'm not 100% sure, but we should be okay to land. Should be okay to land. So we're not too far out. The runway is going to be in that direction, not straight ahead. So if we kind of just hit in maybe at a different kind of angle, that'd be good. And I know that Caernarfon's right on the coast, so it's just finding it with all this cloud. And that's why I didn't want to come this way, because them mountains would just annihilate you. I think we're probably too high, but in all honesty, I think we need to get down to about 1,500. But if we miss approach, we'll miss approach, and we'll just go around and we'll do a circuit. I think we'll do a right-hand circuit. But as I say, I think we're going to be okay because we're coming in at a different angle, and the runway is going to be in that general direction. So I think what I'll do is I'll just keep going down. Let's have a little look if we can actually see it now. I think it might be behind the bloody screen. upright. So I don't know what they're bloody called. I can't remember what they're called. Oh, I can't remember what they're called. Let's have a look. Can't see it. It's over there, I think. But well, honestly, I'm not 100% sure. Right. Going down to about 1,500 feet, right? So I'm just going to lift, I'm just going to trim up a little bit. Just so that we can start slowing down. Now we are going to try and go straight in, right? Now let me go full. We're gonna, I don't know what I've just done prop full. We don't need prop full yet. Put that back onto 23. Right. With all this mist and smog, I cannot see the airport or runway, so, and we're only 4 nautical miles out. Right, I'm going to put a notch of flaps to try and help us slow down a touch, but right, let's have a look if we can. But we can't see anything. This is going to be an interesting landing. You would never do this in real life, I'm sure, but I think it's nope. Where are you? Like smack bang in front of us. The runway is smack bang in front of us. It's got to be in here, but do you think we can see it? The interesting thing is, I think we've got... Now, this should have been a headwind. Well, I'm going to basically put the gears down. And let's see where we end up. But in all honesty, I think we're going to do a missed approach here because you cannot see that. You cannot see the runway, so this is not good. Prop full. I might have to change the. I might have to change the actual weather because the sun and that cloud is just causing some crazy visibility issues. Probably going over Caernarfon. We're 1 nautical mile away, so. In all honesty, oh, there it is. So that's Caernarfon. So what we'll do is we'll probably try and venture back and remember where that is. Right. Okay, let's do that. Let's try and do that. Okay, but we'll keep it. We'll just keep this like that for the moment. It's very windy. It is extremely windy. What a shame, because the actual flight was bang on. Everything about the flight was wicked, and then the visibility in the end is just killing it. Right, so we've got to remember that it's on that bank, and just to see whether we can keep it at 1,000 feet and then just turn in, but okay, right. We're 2 nautical miles away now. 2.5. Right, I think what we're going to do is maybe do a really tight turn, if we can. Well, 30-degree turn. And see if we can get it all the way around to the other side. See if we can follow it in now, because now that we've kind of got our bearings a little bit, it's definitely on the coast, so we need to just basically keep on the coast. I knew it was on the coast, but I thought it was on the other side of this. I thought it was like there, not this side, but actually it does make sense that it is this side, because you drive down the beach to get to it. So right, so we're going pretty much straight in here. Oh boy. I don't know what's going on with the airspeed, because 1 minute I'm doing the actual approach speed, and then next thing you know it's just absolutely caning it. Right, if we can't do it this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to where are them flipping? What is the runway doing there? Anyway, we can see the runway now, so what we're going to do is we're going to come down to this side like this, and then we're going to cut across onto the 20. So we've got to really be careful with our airspeed here, but probably left that a little bit too late, but you just would not do that in the real world, surely. But you know, you'd have to do IFR on that, because you can't see very far on this now. And then wind turbines are actually there, so you know, like, oh god. Not the best of landings, guys, but we're kind of down. There was a really crazy crosswind there, just at the last minute. It was doing fine until that last little bit. Right, so this is Caernarfon, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Right, I don't know if I can get to it via this runway, so I'm just going to go to the end of my runway. We're going to lean out the mixture slightly. There's a taxiway just at the end here. There's got to be. Yep, there is. So once again, an absolutely perfect rendition of an airfield. This, it really is. When you've been to the real version. So fuel pump off, landing lights on, sorry, strobe off. We can turn the pitot heat off, and we can also slow it right down. So we've got some statics. Just head that way. See the crosswind. Now, I don't think there's another. I'm not sure. There is another runway, but I'm not sure whether that's active or not. Right. Let's get down to the next one, and then I'm gonna... What's that there? Oh, that's some guy. Let's see what happens when we go into him, because... Is he actually going to guide us through? Because... Surely you wouldn't get that. Oh, I'm on the grass, so that means I've just got to give it a bit more beans. Yeah, no matter what the runway I used, that would have had like a really crazy crosswind. Right, let me see what this guy's doing. Look at this guy, he's ready for me. Cut him in half in a minute, but there, let's just stop there. Let's just stop there. I don't think I swung it round enough, but it'll do. Parking brake on. Landing lights off. This off, and we will turn all the no we won't, we'll leave this on, but just for a moment, right? And what we want to look at is actually we did alright with the fuel. There is only 9.7 remaining, which is not a huge amount. Look, it says 2 hours, but that's because we're at a standstill. And the funny thing is, we're actually at sea level, so that's like 0, 0 there. I'm curious about what temperature the cabin's at. So that's we're okay now. Yeah, definite crosswind, crazy crosswind that was. Didn't put the flaps up when we landed, which is a bit naughty, but I think that's just because of me panicking. Cool. Right, so I'm gonna basically stop the engine now. So what we do is we'll idle, we'll pull back the prop, and then we'll pull back the mixture. Lovely jubbly. Right, we'll turn this key here, and we will turn that off. We'll also turn the nav lights off. There we go. And we'll turn the battery off. And the beacon. And we'll turn off. Right. Perfect. Control locks. I don't know if to fill the plane up now or just leave it until next time. I think I'll leave it till next time. The cabin heat, I actually want to move back in, so do that before I put that on, but there you go. And now we'll do the walk around, just to put the tie downs back on, if I can find where they are. There we are, there's one. Oh, and the chocks, don't forget the chocks. I'm bound to forget one thing, aren't I? Oh, pitot tube cover. That's what I would have forgot. And the back. There we go. Right. Let's open this, and we'll check out the luggage. And we'll go back in. And there we go. That's it. So that was a good flight. And this is where we see how crap my parking was. Probably as bad as the landing. It's not too bad. I'm on the concrete, so it's not too bad. I would have got away with that. They're too perfect, look. They're far too perfect. They've been placed in a computer, they have. They've not been parked by a real person. But anyway, what I was going to show you was, so them lovely wind turbines, they're actually there. And also, if I go around here, so out of this hangar, there was a microlight being pulled out when I was there. And also, this big blue building here is a CAF. So I actually had something with my son on the CAF there, and we actually was on by this fence here, and we was watching that helicopter take off. So we actually watched the air ambulance take off from that position. Was it there, or was it? I can't remember if it was actually there or whether it was actually there. It probably was there. Makes more sense. But yeah, we watched that take off. We had some lunch. And what was the reason why we were there was, if we come all the way over to this part, it's actually got an air museum, and we went to the air museum, and I was quite happy with the air museum because you can actually sit in the planes, so that's pretty cool. I did that. But if I just zoom up a little bit, so this is the road that you take to get there, and it basically takes you all the way down the coast, down this coast. But I don't think, if this was real life, I don't think you would be landing in this kind of weather. I really don't. But anyway, but that was fun. That was a good flight. I really enjoyed that. And favourite Comanche again. So I'm gonna call it there, and that's that. So once again, thanks for joining me, and if you're catching up on YouTube, thanks for catching up. And I'll see you next time. I don't know what I'll be doing next week. I might probably be flying again, because I'm kind of falling in love with the Comanche again. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, thanks all, and take care, and I will see you soon.